Hello and welcome back. We are on our journey here in Planescape Torment, helping old Mebeth out with some chores so that she may teach us the way of the art, also known as magic, for our character becoming a mage anyway. So, to preserve the experience I'm going to need as a mage since I start at level 1 once my class switches over, I am not going to do everything along the way. I've invested too much of my experience into my fighter class right now. Let's see here. Northeastern portion of the hive? Or no, or was it the other way? Yes, it's the other way, I believe. Gotta go down to the southwestern part, I believe. I think that item on the ground over by the dead limbs where, it's just a pebble, I think. Yeah, this is the hive market. Very good. This is the fruit merchant. We meet again. Some sea plums today. Arborian fire seed. I forgot his name. Mebeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from the seed here. Can you help me? 500 XP. The man takes the seed, looks at it critically. As he presses it between his thumb and forefinger, he winces, and a small drop of blood appears on his thumb. Ah! This seed's got a bite on it. I noticed that. Do you have the herbs she's talking about? He can't seem to take his eye off the seed. Lad, I don't know if yeah. I don't know if there's anyone who is what your friend seeks to be square. I've never seen such a seed before. You would need someone who cultivates seeds such as this, or I have none. Very well then. Where would I find such a person?
Updated my journal.
Don't know the dark of that, friend. He hands the seed back to you. You'd be hard-pressed to find a gardener in the hive. Alright. Maybe Morns for Trees could help. Farewell. Yes. Yeah, cool, see? Well, I mean, at least going through and talking to everyone up at this point has given us a bunch of leads. If I had just ran straight there, I might not have remembered quite as clearly where I was supposed to go. And the game clearly remembers a lot of it for me since it pops up in dialogue, which I'm okay with that. These are the guys here that have Porphyron's rosary. I'm just making a note of that now so I don't forget. And there's July, the guy that Craddock is looking for. Making some notes so we can skidoodly-doo our way back here when the time comes. Morns for Trees smiles widely upon seeing you. Ah, my friend, you've returned. Something you wished of me? I'll have Dakon help later. Yes, I had some questions. He nods, waiting your question. Okay. I need some herbs sprung from this seed. Can you help me? Morns for Trees takes the seed from you and holds it up to his eye. What an odd seed. Are those teeth along the edge? Barbs, perhaps? Where did you come by it, friend? Old Mebeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from that seed. Do you know where I could get some? No. Morns for Trees continues to stare at the seed in his hand. This is the only seed of its kind I've ever seen. He winces and a spot of blood glistens on his thumb. The barbs on it are sharp. Indeed. Perhaps you should hold it. So you can't help me either? Unless you can make that one grow, I cannot. Again, I've never seen a seed of its like before, friend. If we wanted it to grow enough, is it possible to make it grow? Mourns for Trees looks at the seed. Perhaps, if you cared enough to see it grow. What do you mean? Focus on the seed, will it to grow. To your surprise, there is a crack, and the seed splits, twigs splitting from its surface like fingers. Instinctively, you drop the seed, but the talon-like twigs wrap around your wrist and will not let go. What the hell's?
Updated my journal.
Mourns for Trees stares at the barbed branches wrapped around your wrist, stunned. I think the barbs on those new branches would be more than enough for what your friend needs. Alright. I will return it to her, then. Thanks for your help. Farewell. Alright. Easy peasy. Gonna make our way downtown, as usual. Just gotta sprint our way there. Super speedy McGee-like. Why do I keep coming back here? What the hell's wrong with me? I already did that before, let me think. In like the fourth episode? That's the direction I went on accident? Then again, in my Divine Divinity playthrough, I end up going to Goemo's house like 4 times while trying to find... What's his name? Not Otho. Oh, George. Yeah, George's house. Alrighty, Mebith. We got your herbs, if you can call them that. Mebith turns as you enter and gives you a skeptical eye. Your path brings ye back here, does it, child? I returned with those herbs you wanted. Now maybe you can get this damned bramble patch off my wrist. Is that so? Mebith glances at the barbs that surround your wrist. If so, think it off then. Do so.
Updated my journal.
More XP. Creaking and snapping, the black barbed branches unravel themselves from your wrist and form into a tangled ball of brush and twigs. It looks like a nest of dead black snakes. Mebith snorts. Think it into a picture frame or some such. Something with more structure and less angles. Concentrate on the barbed ball, then imagine it as a picture frame. XP galore. The branched ball creaks, the twigs bending and twisting until its branches have bent themselves into a small picture frame, 2 handspans on a side. Almost unconsciously, you imagine shape the barbs to the back of the frame so it can be hung from the wall easily. And, as an afterthought, you move the remaining barbs to the inside of the frame so it can be picked up by the edges. How's that? Mebith stares at the frame for a moment, then cackles. Ha 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 ha! Square enough it is. Good work, child, good work. She picks up the frame and scrutinizes it. This'll do nicely. Is that all you wanted it for? Aye, well, this is enough. She sniffs. Aye, but there was one thing I forgot to tell ye to fetch when ye left last time, and it'll take ye back to the merchant square, it will. Look for the cloth seller, Gizcoral. He has some rags of mine that he was supposed to wash, and long has it been since I first asked him to do it. Could have mentioned that before I left. Alright, I'll be back. And we know exactly where Gizcoral is. He's the fellow with the burns that gets nervous when we try to bring him up. And I suspect, and in fact I'm at least 90% sure, that those burns were caused at the Alley of Dangerous Angles before it was called so. And if y'all don't remember, that's the place where Ignis, the smoldering corpse, so to speak, at the bar, smoldering corpse bar, lit people up like candles, quote unquote. There's Gizcoral. Gizcoral turns to you. I Gizcoral. He bows and spreads his trembling, scarred hands. I Gizcoral. I'm here to pick up someone's wash. Mebith, the midwife. Ragpicker Square? Gizcoral blinks. Washcloth? Yes, Mebith, Ragpicker Square. Rag? Picker? He taps his fingers as if counting something. Ah. I know. I remember. He holds up a trembling finger, as if telling you to wait. Wait for him to fetch the wash. The wash. Excuse me. He comes back with a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper, yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with a greenish lime starch that they look like it would take years of soaking to relax them. How many times did you clean these? Gizcoral washcloth, starch cloth, every 5th day. Washcloth, starch cloth, every 5th day. His eyes flicker. Gizcoral wash many years. Always starch cloth on 5th day. Gizcoral's ritual. But they're ruined. Washcloth is Gizcoral's ritual. His voice is flat, almost zombie-like. Oh. Must starch cloth every 5th day. Huh. It's hard to read inflection, okay? Hehe. What's the point of doing every 5 days when they don't need... never mind, just hand them over. Give cloth. He nods, then hands you the rags. They're heavy. It's like carrying an armload of bricks. Great. I'll take them back to Mebith now. Farewell. La 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 la. Best blades in town. You heard it here. Get the best blades in town. Nope. Nah. You don't deserve the screen time today, Hive Thugs. I'll come take y'all on later. Put y'all in a hole. Well, no, not really. I don't want to waste my time burying them. The Daubuses can clean their wretched corpses from the Hive streets. I brought your wash. I think Gizcoral was a little heavy on the cleaning ritual, though. XP. She takes the stacks of starched green rags from you, and she examines them critically. At least they won't tear. Or bend. What was with that cloth merchant, Gizcoral? His hands were all scarred, and he seemed slow. Mebith is still turning the cloth over in her hands, tapping it with her finger. Well, child, sometimes one burns with the art, and other times the art burns ye. Is that what happened to him? Mebeth clicks her tongue. Mayhap, there's somes for whose using the art is like breathing. They strolls about with pointy hats and stinkweed pipes. Then there's hedge wizards and plain touch gypsies and fortune casters and half-seers and midwives who flicker with the art. Them have a harder time of it. And Giscoral was one of them? Mebeth nods. Aye, so to speak. In some ways he's no different now than he was. Addicted to habit and ritual he was. She sets down the stiff rags. They clunk as they fall to the floor. Aye now, there's one last thing I need from you, child. This better not involve me going back to the market, Mebeth. Of course, what do you need? Only this. I need some inks for scribing some ingredients in one of me cookery books. I'll need ye to fetch some from one of the merchants. Casa Jai be her name. All right then, I'm off. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Indeed, we are off. Once again. Every time I go anywhere, I just want to say how I'm making my way downtown, walking fast. It won't stop. My mind won't let it stop. No, that's the wrong way. The merchants are this way. My brain says, go autopilot. Go autopilot because talking and playing game hard at the same time. Oh, I mean, give me a year. I'll be so good. I have no idea. Kasaja, yes, I remember our fishy friends. The old woman gives you a gummy smile. Some fish, my child. Fish heads. A cloying fish smell surrounds her. Bebeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some. Ink? She chuckles. Nay, sir, I sells no ink. I sells just fish. Are you sure? Bebeth, the midwife at Ragpicker Square, mentioned to you specifically. Well, Kasajai was me dam's name, and me grandmom's name, so could be any of us. Yet they're both in the dead book, so only this, Kasajai matters. No idea what she's on about? A midwife in the Pickers Square, you say? She thinks for a moment. Don't know her, I don't. So, you don't have any ink? Well, I can't say that's much of a surprise. I swear Mebeth is having me run in circles. Yeah. Oh, now hold on. Your midwife friend's not all wrong. I know how ye can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of a Bragota fin, it does. Well, in that case, that probably is exactly the ink I'm looking for if Mebeth sent me to ancestrally known fish vendors. It's probably not the right way to put that, but I don't give a shit. I mean, knowledge is power. I just don't know. This Bragota fin, it bleeds ink. She frowns. Thing is, that fish is not for eating. It's got a horrible taste, scalds the tongue. You can ask Miriam. She pitches her fish cell down the street a southerly way. She cackles. She might have one of them fish she needs on hair, Paul. I'll go seek her out then. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Yeah, I feel like I had a much more pleasant conversation for some reason with Miriam than Kasajai. Give it a try, it's delicious. I love listening to the banter in the background. Well met again, sir. What can I do for you? Have you heard of a pagoda fin? I was told it bleeds ink from its gills. She blinks then nods. Aye, that fish. That fish is a strange one, it is. Not many have heard of it, lest want to eat it. Difficult to kill, and even in death, it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still writhes. Do you have one?
Updated my journal.
Aye, but the ink, you'll be needing something to carry it in. Have ye a bowl or cup perchance? Or a tankard. Maybe one of the merchants is selling one. Farewell. That makes me realize I actually missed talking to one of the people over here. Yes, how silly of me, I totally missed her. How the hell did I overlook her? This attractive young woman is smiling and beckoning to all passerbys as she calls out the virtues of her goods. Plates, jugs, cups, tankards, drink from the goblets of the finest lords. Upon seeing you, she waves you over as if you were an acquaintance. May I see what you're selling here? I sell plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery, and the like, sir. All of quality, sir, the finest. She steps back and lifts the lid of the crate on the wagon behind her. Please take a look over my goods. Should you have any questions, feel free to ask. I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or a goblet for sale? She nods. Oh yes, many kinds. They range in price from a few coppers to several hundred. Actually, I'm looking for the cheapest one you have. She raises an eyebrow. She reaches into a crate at her side, then throws a battered-looking tankard to you. It is covered in dents, and its handle looks like it's about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. She smiles slightly. God. It'll do. Thanks, and farewell.
Updated my journal.
Nice. Yeah. Completely forgot to talk to her before, apparently. Well met again, sir. What can I do for you? I brought a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish in it? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it and starts lashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until bluish black ichor begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack at her side. Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal.
Yeah, I don't need to fight these thugs. Almost. We're close. I can smell the esoteric, booksy smell of being a mage. Mebeth is tugging at the mass of greenish lime starched rags you brought from Giscoral. She seems to be purposely fraying the edges as if to peel them apart somehow. When she hears you approach, she turns. Aye, child? Here's that ink you wanted. 1,000 XP. Mebeth takes the tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it. Prime ink. Fresh it is, aye. She nods at you. You've done well, child. All I've asked. Now I ask ye again. After all ye've seen, do ye still want to learn the art? Yes. After all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? Ebeth smiles then nods. Yes, mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I was, to see. to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Mebeth nods again, slower this time. Mayhap, child, mayhap. If and so, what did your senses tell ye about them? Horns for trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. Gilscorl taught me that ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Merim taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there is still much I can learn from another's eyes. Mebeth is silent for a moment, then walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Oh, child, she sighs. Ye will be a master sorcerer one day, ye will. Ye have the knowing of it, yet ye've come to old Mebeth for help, ye have. What could a midwife teach such a one? Much, Mebeth. I want to learn all that you have to teach. 2000 XP. So, ye'll walk the path then. Mebeth pauses. Well, first things first. Just having the knack for the art isn't enough. Ye need some means of giving it focus, usually spells. The spells are usually in a book, so the art demands ye have a spell book, or it's like afore ye can cast spells. Can ye read? Yes. Then let's test it. Can you read this? Mebeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Examine the recipe. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try to read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once, and the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some sort of minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? It looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Mebeth's eyes widen. Who are ye to test old Mebeth so? Are ye some fiend? Some have called me so, but not in my presence. Is there something wrong?
Updated my journal.
Well, not expecting it, was I? She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand. What ye see, it's written in the language of the art. If you're not a mageling yet, it should be all a swirled jumble of mishmash. She snaps her finger. Yet, clear as crystal, ye pluck the sense of it right up. Mayhap ye tell old Mebeth why that is. I don't really know, I just knew what it said. Or else a natural gift ye may have. No matter, no matter. Ye've just shaved seasons off of your training, ye have. Mebeth harumphs. And I'd been looking for someone to handle the chores around here, I had. Let's see. If you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. No, don't worry yourself about that. She frowns. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put them in. Do you have one? Mebeth glances around the hut, and then she catches sight of the black bar picture frame you made. She picks it up carefully and studies this. This'll do. That thing, it's just a frame. But so are ye, child. Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Gilscorl. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish starch surface film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth. Whatever Giscor uses in the wash, it works better than curing, stretching, and stoning does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't. Parchment? She takes the starchy film and pulls it over the black barbed frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish black painter's canvas. It's missing something. Well, it needs something painted on it. She nods. Aye, or written on it. She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame, one by one, still mumbling to herself. Wait. All's done. Mebeth stands, drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed page in front of her. A page for your spell book it is. It indicates you should pick it up. Take it. Inside your spell book are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words. She taps her head. The art demands ye pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, afore ye can tap their power. Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest first before you can do this, though. Any questions? No, Mebeth. Oh, no questions, eh? Well, now you should have questions. You know all about how to memorize spells, do you? You're a sharp one. You sure don't need any more of Mebeth's words all a gobbling up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already. Forgive me, Mebeth. I meant no questions on what you said. Please explain how to memorize spells. Alright then. Here's the dark of how you memorize the spells. Pick the spells you want to stick in your head from your spell book, afore you goes to sleep. When you wake up in the morning, they'll be buzzing in your head all like flies ready to be let out. How many spells can I cast? Ye can cast only one, mayhap 2 spells afore needing to rest again. As a tiny flitting mageling, there isn't much room in your attic, so use your spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells. Alright, go on. You can only cast spells you've memorized, so if you want to use the art to, say, mend something twice, you'll need to memorize the spell how many times? Twice. Well, yeah. Mebeth nods. Aye, twice, right enough. How can I get more spells?
Updated my journal.
Mebeth shrugs. Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folks might have some minor magics to teach. There's also scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that might have spells inscribed on them. If you find one, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want it. Got it. I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you've a little more on the plains in you. I appreciate it, thanks. Afore you go, child, you'll need some magics for you to whet your appetite. Mebeth rummages in her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes to you. You should copy these into your book, so they can go into your attic as soon as possible. Thanks, Mebeth.
Updated my journal.
3 items gained and 5,000 XP. Woohoo! Wait, there's more. Mebeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, producing a pair of amber earrings. These'll protect ye on your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them.
Thanks again.
Alright, child, don't tarry here any longer. One such as ye has other ways to spend one's time rather than hanging around old Mebeth.
Come on, Mebeth, you're not old.
Pah! Ye flatterer! Your tongue is so lined with silver it'd shame a Bartazul. Get ye hence!
Thanks for everything, Mebeth.
Pah! Ye can thank me by not playing the alcove with what you've learned. The art's damned many a fool who sought to bend it in ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with ye.
Farewell.
I feel stronger.
Yeah. Level 1 mage. Oh, we gained enough XP to level though. Mage. Spell memorization abilities have increased. 0 characteristic points gained, 2 hit points gained. Yeah, I believe that you... Oh, cool. I leveled up actually 2 times. Nice. Well, level 3 is definitely better than level 1. Yeah, so... I don't remember what I was saying. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Amber earrings. Amber earrings. +2 to armor class. And memorize 2 additional first level mage spells. Nice. Definitely equipping those. Rune of Shielding. I already read these, so I'm just going to copy them over. I believe it teaches me armor and shield, yeah. Alright, so I can cast 1 level 2 spell and 4 level 1 spells. We're going to continue our journey next time. As a mage, casting spells and being all like... You know, something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. You're all beautiful and amazing, and I love you. Have a great time. Bye-bye.